continuing on where we left off, let's see, we need to convert this to a symbol. Select all, that's Control A, and then F8. Yeah, so we need to say levels, and I did put the registration point in the top left. That's actually important. And I'm going to rename this layer levels. Then I'm going to make another layer called player 1. And so I'm going to zoom in on this room and draw a little square. Actually, I'm going to make sure I have some fill. Eventually, we'll probably replace this with some real character or something, but for now, just draw a square, and we don't need the lines to be so huge. Convert to symbol, hit F8, player 1, and in this case, we want the registration point to be in the middle. Now we're going to double click on it, go inside, make a new layer. This will be graphics. And this will be code. Then let's lock the top layer so you can't accidentally draw on it. Hit F6 twice to create these empty keyframes. Click on the third frame. Open up the actions panel. If script assist is on, turn it off. If this little side panel is open, close it. And we want to say escape GP2, so it writes go to and play 2. Second frame, we want to say escape IF. In other words, if key.isDown key.left. Close the parenthesis. You got to notice that there's an opening parenthesis and another opening, so there has to be 2 closing. Otherwise, you get an error. Likewise, there's an opening curly brace and a closing curly brace. Got to have both of those. What we want to have happen is when you press the left arrow key, we want to take the X position and subtract 10 from it every time this line is read. So actually 10 is kind of a lot. Let's do 1. Even 1 might be a lot, but let's stay with that, and we'll say right, and we change that to positive. Now it should be able to go left and right. And let's copy both of these and make it up and down. It has to be all caps, otherwise you get an error. Flash won't like the code. So now I'm moving up and down, left and right. That's cool. Now, what we want to have happen is when we move from room to room, we want to shift everything over. So I'm going to write some code that says if underscore x is ever greater than or equal to, let's see, it was 80, so actually we doubled it, so 160. The width of a room is 160. So if that happens, then we want underscore parent dot levels dot what about the levels, the underscore x, to minus equals 160. So right now we named the levels in our library. We called it levels, but out here we didn't actually give it a name. So you got to come out into scene 1, click on it, and give it the name levels. So this name right here has little or nothing to do with the code. This instance name does. So let's see what happens. Oh, okay. So it did move, but it moved a lot. So yeah, okay, so a couple things need to happen. What it did right now is it moved 160 pixels to the left, but it kept moving. And the way we stop that from happening is we need to get the underscore x of the player to equal 1 again. So when I cross into the next room, now it throws me back to the start. That way it doesn't continue to, say, oh, you're past 160. Move it to the left, move it to the left. So it'll just keep moving to the left as we pass from room to room, and that's what we want. So now we need to do it for the other direction as well. So I'm going to copy this, paste, and then we're going to change this to less than or equal to 0. This will become positive, and then this will become 1 less than 160. So yeah, 159. So let's see if that works. Move this way. I move back. So now we're getting the rooms to shift. Of course, now I'm going off the map. We'll have to put a restriction on how far to the left we can go. But we also need the same thing to happen in the vertical direction. I'm going to put some slashes right here just to divide things up. And now I'll copy this, paste it, and change these to Y. And in the vertical direction, it's 120 because we made it it's 800 by 600, so 120 doubled, 60 doubled is 120. In the X direction, it's 160 because 80 doubled is, yeah. So this needs to be 119. So let's see if vertical works now. Looks like it's working. And it works in the other direction. So now we should be able to move down and to the left and every direction we want just fine. So let's hit save. We'll call this tinyGame room to room, or navigation. Yeah, let's just call that. And I'll see you in the next video.